Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we're going to be doing a good old-fashioned get ready with me. We're going to be using drugstore makeup, high-end makeup, just kind of a mix of some of the products that I've been absolutely loving. Most of it is not new. Most of it is all old favorites. I know I appreciate watching videos that don't always talk about all new makeup. That makes me feel like I have to go out and buy it all. Sometimes it's nice to just go back to the products that you used to love because it's so easy to forget about them. So over on my Instagram, I did post about how I did this makeup look for our family pictures, and you guys really, really loved it. I also have been wearing it a lot for very, very long days when, I do school drop-offs in the morning, I work all day, and then we have some kind of event at night, and I don't have time to do my makeup again. I really need my makeup to last like 14, 16 hours, and this makeup has been doing that for me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you're not familiar with me, if you're new to this channel, I have kind of combination skin. It's pretty normal everywhere, but it does get oily in the center of my face. All the products that I do talk about will be listed down in the description box, as well as shared on my LTK post. If you don't follow me alreready, be sure to follow me on Instagram because I am on there daily. And yeah, let's do some makeup. I'm in my pajamas. I have my protein coffee. If you follow me on Instagram, you've heard me talk about this a ton of times, and these mugs are the best. So we're just gonna do some makeup. The kids are playing beautifully this morning. They may interrupt. We'll see how long that lasts. I do have my skincare done already. I'm going to start off with the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. I actually really like this. So I really liked their Glow Wish Blur Jam, I think is what it was. I still have some of that left, but that was part of a special collection, and they discontinued it. And I feel like I can't say for certainty it's the same product, but it is very, very, very similar. So I like that, because that was really unfortunate when they discontinued it. It's nice. It's a really good smoothing primer, but it also does not dry out the skin. Sometimes smoothing primers also kind of oil control, which I think this one does a little bit, but they also dry out the skin, and this one does not, and I really like it. So once I smooth it around, kind of press that in. Now I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and I'm going to go straight in to brows. I'm using the Ami Colé brow pencil, and I think this is in the shade medium brown. Like I said, I'll have all of this linked in the description box so you guys can check it out. I've just had this time of year, there's so much going on, so I feel like long-lasting makeup is like super, super important. If you're just doing like a 6 to 8 hour day, and by the time you get home you're just gonna take your makeup off anyway, yeah, like you certainly don't need long lasting. But for me, like I will do drop-offs and I'll go work in the office, and a lot of times we'll have something to do in the evening, or I'll have to film, and I really need my makeup to like look really good. And sometimes during that period I also have to go to the gym, and so I need my makeup to like kind of be sweat proof as well. I don't like working out with a full face of makeup, but sometimes it's the only way I can get a workout in, and I can't take my makeup off. So, well, I know you guys are going to ask about my pajamas. I got them from Target. I think they are probably some of my favorite pajamas I've ever owned. They're a very lightweight flannel, but the fit is so comfortable. The elastic on the shorts, which is kind of like a random thing, but it's really thick and nice, and it doesn't bunch up. And it just lays so nicely, and I love it. They run true to size. I'm wearing a medium. They have some other like color patterns and stuff, but I love them. To laminate them down with the brow gel, but I'm not going to do that until after I do powder, because I don't want it to get all powdery. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to take, this is the Aquaphor Healing Balm Stick. I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger, and I'm going to press it on my under eyes just to give them a little extra hydration. This is a Scott Barnes trick that he talked about, and I don't like rub it on because my skin's kind of oily, and that doesn't really help. It sometimes makes it too slippery, but if I just do a little bit, it does. It makes my under eye concealer like perfection all day. Okay, now to the good part. Well, actually, no, let's go ahead and do the eyes first, because this is what I did for family pictures, and I do think that it makes a difference. When you want your makeup to last a little bit longer, I do think doing it in this order helps. So I do my brows first, and then I'm going to put concealer all over my eyes. like my eyelids, kind of like an eyeshadow primer. And I'm also going to kind of use that concealer to carve out the brow a little bit. You want to make sure to get that concealer kind of all over, so there's no disconnect like once you do your foundation. I usually just kind of bring it across the bridge of the nose. And that concealer is the CoverGirl, what is it? True Blend? Yes, True Blend. That's what I'm going to use on my face too, but so I'll talk about it here in a second. This brush is a Japanese brush, I think Japanese 712. I'm not sure if you can get these online. I will see. I usually buy Japanese brushes from TJ Maxx and Marshall, so if you have one of those nearby, I would honestly go look there. But I will look and see if it's online, because I will link it for you guys. But any brush really will do for this. You could even use a sponge. Okay, I'm gonna tap it out with my fingers, just make sure there's no excess. I'm gonna take a little bit of setting powder. Again, it does not matter what you use, whatever does the trick. I'm just gonna set it down. Now, the eyeshadow palette that I've been loving is the Lawless The Dreamy Dozen Volume 2. I own Volume 1 and I love it. They came out with Volume 2. It's kind of a pricey palette, I'll be honest, but I love it. So, you know, what can I do? I'm going to take this light shade. Just going to brighten up that inner corner a little bit. The more contrast you create, the better it's going to look in pictures. And I'm just going to start slowly building the crease here. Same thing with the other side. I find that eyeshadow kind of takes a lot of time for these makeup tutorials, so I am going to keep doing my eyeshadow. I'm going to speed it up, but I'm using all the shades in this palette. Not all the shades, but I'm only using this palette for my eyes. Okay, the eyes are done. I did put a little bit of the Sephora waterproof retractable eyeliner in the shade Matte Brown. I did tightline my eyes a little bit. Other than that, everything came from this palette. I used this one, then this one, and then kind of a mix of this one and this one. And then I'll use these two for eyeliner. So love that palette. It's a little pricey, but I think it's worth it because I enjoy it and I enjoy the colors. Okay, now we can get to complexion. So believe it or not, this L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum in the shade 2 to 3. This stuff has been blowing my mind. I used it. I liked it. Of course, I have a large collection. I'm always trying new things, and I kind of just got away from it and forgot how much I loved it. And then I saw Nikki LaRose. She put it in her like favorite drugstore product video, and I was like, that's the best of the drugstore. And I used it and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love this. So speaking of Nikki LaRose, I am using a BK Beauty Nikki LaRose brush in her N17, and I'm gonna put this all over. I do feel like this oxidizes a little bit. That 2 to 3 shade seems to match me pretty good, and then it usually gets a little darker. When I'm self tan, I use the shade, what is it, 4 to 5. I think 2 to 3 is light, which I feel like it's a little tan for being light. And the shade 4 to 5 is medium. But like I said, I think it oxidizes. So just be aware of that. It doesn't have a lot of coverage, but it does sit so beautifully on the skin. I have oilier skin, so I don't like products that like are super glowy and greasy. I just don't find they work well for me, but this one is not like that at all. It is more like a foundation, but in a it's hydrating, but not in a greasy way. So this lasts, now I said it with powder, but this lasts so well on me. I'm just gonna put this all over. I do just a pretty, like, just average layer of it. I don't do it really thick. I don't do it really thin. I find that the thing about this that I enjoy compared to other like tinted serum foundations is that this does set down a little bit. Now, it by no means sets down matte or anything, but it does truly set down, which is always going to help it last a lot longer. Now I'm going to do a cream bronzer. So this is the LYS. This is actually their foundation stick that they came out with, and this is in the shade DN5. I really love their cream contour stick, but I love this color. It's such a good like olive tan shade, and I've been using it for bronzer. I originally went into the store to buy it in my regular shade, and I saw this shade and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like my perfect bronzer shade. For my bronzer, I'm going to use the BK Beauty 106. But a lot of times I also use, this is a Morphe V108, and I like that as well. I use them both. I really like BK Beauty brushes. I think they're worth the money, but I know they're not in budget for everyone, so I always have affordable alternatives. And I also, I like the Morphe like professional line, and I also have some from Amazon that I really like that I use as well. This just blends out so beautifully. The funny thing is I got so distracted by the fact that this looked like the perfect bronzer color for me that I bought it in Sephora, and I don't live close to Sephora, so at the time I was in town and I was close, so I can't just like go back and get it. And I forgot that I was going to get my foundation shade, so that is in the mail on the way because I forgot to get it. I got so distracted. It just looks so good. And actually what I'm going to do with the bronzer is I'm going to just spread it out a little bit, soften out these edges. Might have to use my finger for that. Okay, and I'm actually, don't kill me, but I am going to leave it there. Okay, now I am going to do concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I love this. This is in the shade L400 Classic Ivory, and I've been loving this. This is another product that I tried recently, and I think maybe Nikki LaRose talked, I'll be honest, I think she talked about it too. And no, she did the L'Oreal Serum Concealer, which I do like that one as well. But when I'm wearing a lighter coverage foundation like this, I like to wear a little bit more coverage with my concealer. So I'm just going to kind of put this all over, put a little bit there. Ooh, I'm not going to put a little bit there because I don't want to mess up the bronzer. And then I'm actually going to take a sponge for this, and I'm going to blend that out. These sponges are from a local artist in St. Louis. Her name is Joy Loveless, and I will put a link to her. I think she has a website. I'll put a link to that where you guys can go and get these because they are good. They are the best sponges I've ever used, and I love them. And they're really, I think they might be like $13 a piece. They're not a ton more expensive than, you know, I think like the e.l.f. sponges are like $7, and I think the beauty blenders are $20, so they're less than beauty blenders, and they're just a little bit more than, well, I guess they're about twice as much as an e.l.f. sponge, which I do like the e.l.f. sponge, and I use those in my professional kit since I replace them so often. But this personally is my favorite. I'm just gonna kind of bring it, clean up the bronzer a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but I can hear the kids in the other room. They're doing really good. I'm proud of them. I'm gonna blend this out. I just love this concealer. It stays so good throughout the day. I have worn this, I think the most I've worn this is for 16 hours. Let's see, I put it on at 7, and I got home at 10. So I left at 9. So yeah, about 14 hours. So I think I said 16. So it's 14 hours. And it just did so well. So now that I have that concealer, I am just kind of using it to soften out this contour. Then I'm going to take the BK 107. So I need the foundation side because I'm going to go over the contour with the foundation side. And I just find that it just snatches the nose a little bit extra. Then I'm just going to make sure that's all good. Make sure I didn't lose anything there, up here. Okay, now we're going to do, sorry, I keep looking at like the viewfinder, but I need to look at the camera. I'm going to do blush. This color has got a chokehold on me. This like bubblegum Barbie neon pink color. I love it. And this particular combo I am crazy about. And it's great because this is definitely a color that works well with just a lot of the clothes I wear, my skin tone, my eye color. And so that is fantastic. This is the Cali Ray Blurry Blush in the shade Epic. These blushes are incredible if you've never tried them. It is a clean brand too. And then for the brush I'm going to use the Jessup F01. This comes in a set, and this is from Amazon. These are really good brushes. I bought the full set. You can break them down and buy different smaller sets. I just bought the full one when it was on sale, and I love it. Look at that. Oh, this looks so good. And it just blends out so well. This is very similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar to the Makeup by Morrow, his dual-ended brush. And it has like a stiffer side. I think this is kind of meant for like concealer and foundation, but this is what I use it for. I always use it for a cream blush. The powder I've been using, surprisingly enough, is the Ulta Beauty Collection Velvet Veil Minerals powder. I love this. I think it only comes in one shade. It has a little bit of a tint to it, so it's not white or anything. I love this. This is a really great everyday powder. To me, it's undetectable on the skin. You cannot even see it. It does not mattify your makeup a lot, but it does set it down in place. And I just find that this works so well for me. So my favorite brush to apply this powder with is the Morphe V106. These are like all black brushes, and they just have the name etched in, which looks very sleek, but it is kind of hard to find sometimes. And I'm just going to tap it in, and I'm just going to press it. I always start in the center of my face first. I find that it's very blurring. It looks really good on the skin. It wears really nice throughout the day. And it's also like a good everyday powder, which is originally what I was using it for. But then I gave it a chance on a day that I needed to wear a long time, and it worked beautifully. Now, it's not summer, obviously, right now, so in the summertime, I have to use a little bit heavier duty powder, but right now in the winter, I can get away with using glowier products, using lightweight powders. This is just so good, and I have used this. When they rebranded, this was one of the products that I picked up to try, and if you guys want to see that, I did like a full face of their new line, and this is one of my favorites. I cannot recommend this enough. I did a couple ads with Ulta, and their line was like 40% off, and so this was one of the products that I was like, you definitely need to pick up. It's already so affordable, but when it's 40% off, it's really affordable. Okay, that's all the powder I'm going to do on the face, except for I am going to do a little bit extra on the under eyes here, just to keep them from creasing. Especially since I did a little bit of that aquaphor underneath. Perfect. That looks good. Okay. We are moving right along. I am so sorry. My video cut off, and I apologize. I used the Ulta Beauty Collection Extreme Hold Brow Wax. I was talking about how much I love this. Yesterday, I did my makeup at 8, and I wore it till 6, and I went to the gym, and I had a leg day, and I ran for 5 miles, and I was sweating, and my makeup was, like, perfect. I left my face alone. I did not touch it up. I did not touch it at all, and, like, it dried, and it was still perfect, and this brow wax was perfectly in place. It's not crunchy. Anyway, that's all you missed. And then the L'Oreal Color Riche lip liner in the shade Toffee to Be is what I'm doing right now. I am so sorry that you missed that. I don't know if you missed the eyeshadow either. Golly, sorry about that. I used this shade on the lower lash line. That's it. And then, oh my gosh, highlighter. I don't know what I forgot. I don't know what I missed. The Dior highlighter in the shade 1 Nude Glow, I used that as well. And when I talked about this one, I love it. It's amazing. You don't have to have this Dior one. There's lots of great highlighters that are much more affordable. But if you want to treat yourself to a little something nice, I love this. Same thing with the bronzer. I used the YSL bronzer. And there is something about this like cushioned packaging that I really like. Okay, the lipstick that I used is one of my all-time favorites. I use this I use this lip product all the time. I wear it to work. I wear it when I need full glam looks that need to last a long time. This is the Maybelline Vinyl Liquid Lipstick. I think it's like the Superstay Vinyl ink. Yes, this is in the shade 35 Cheeky. I use this on so many brides as well. I like it because it's thin and it's not drying on the lips. It lasts all day. This one is a good color for me, and like I said, I use it on a lot of bridesmaids, a lot of brides, and it just looks so good on everyone. Perfect. And then I'm going to let that dry. Well, we'll get to that. Okay, I'm going to do my mascara. Now, I'm not going to wear lashes today because I do not have anything in particular I need to do. We're going to finish up our Christmas shopping today, and then we're just going to go eat dinner at the winery. And so I'm not going to like wear lashes for that. But I did wear lashes in my family photos, and I used these individual ones from Amazon. When I bought these, well, I love Nikki LaRose, so if you don't follow her on YouTube, be sure and do that. She recommended these. She uses these in her kit. I bought them. I thought they were the self-adhesive ones, but these ones you actually have to glue onto your lashes, but I still love them, and I use them all the time. And when the lashes that I have in my professional kit I've used up, I will be using these. Anyway, but I wore those for the family pictures. Okay, so now that this lipstick has dried down, I'm going to do the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. This is one of their Glimmer Finish ones, and this is in the shade Candy Coated. It's kind of like a pinky, like iridescent-y gold. I don't know how to explain it. I did not wear a gloss for family pictures, but I did wear it yesterday. So now for mascara, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Panorama. This is their tubing. It doesn't say tubing on the packaging, but it is a tubing mascara. I think they have to meet like a certain percentage requirement or something in the ingredients in order for it to be labeled a tubing mascara. So it's not on the package, but this is an amazing tubing, we'll say tubing inspired mascara. Oh yes, last but not least, a little setting spray. I do think setting spray makes a difference. I have a couple I love, but this is the one I've been using. I'm using the Tier, what is it? Makeup Fit Makeup Fixer. Long-lasting, blurring effect, moist finish. What an interesting description. Anyway, I like it. The thing I like about this, excuse me, is I do think it prolongs the wear of your makeup, but the best thing about it is it does not change the finish. So it doesn't make it glowy. It doesn't make it matte. It just doesn't change the makeup. It just keeps it as is. It sets the powder down and gives you like a really nice skin finish. Oops. I always inhale too early. I'm just gonna let that dry. I need to get, like, I see all these girls that do like the pretty little fans to dry their setting spray. I feel like a palette works fine. Okay, there you have it. That is the finished makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you enjoy it, as well as subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my uploads. Be sure to also follow me on Instagram if you like daily content. I'm on there every single day. All the products that I use will be listed down in the description box, as well as shared to my LTK. And I think that's it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.